why the United States is the only superpower. Russia has a huge nuclear arsenal. When you read and listen to the headlines on any given day, it seems like the United States of America is headed for a fall, as its opponents China, UK and Russia push hard to maintain 5-air status. Despite this, it is the era of the US as sole superpower, and the country's domination of the global order seems to keep on for decades to come. If it happens you pass through many views talking about America, you will realize that there's multitude of US strengths and many weaknesses in the side of America's rivals. That does not mean that America may not decline. The United States may still decline due to domestic political divisions, corruption, holding gaze which leads to losing manpower, and stability of economy. These are the only reasons that may lead it to losing its sole superpower status. Frankly speaking, the United States is a mess, but China's system is worse. These words from many documents writers, they insist that the United States is a flawed democratic state, while China is an oligarchy country ruled by dictatorial leaders since then to Toadi's life. There are two main reasons that keeps the United States of America the only world's preeminent power. The very reasons are, number 1. America has a huge lead by the most important measures of national power. The ruling guidance are forever. Whoever get on power finds a firm constitution that guides him. We have a good number of military forces and unshakably ever-controlling Secret Service agency. China is the only country that comes close, though America still has 3 times China's wealth and 5 times its military capabilities. This gap between the US and China would take hundreds of years to close even in case America's system go badly. Number 2, it is hard to admit that there will be extreme change for the United States to lose its POW, because it has the best long-term economic growth prospects among the major power countries in the world. Great thinkers and motivators pinpoint that long-run growth depends on a country's geography, demography, and political stability, which is no longer a problem in the United States. As the world is waking up, Russia, as one of countries with exceptional intelligence, threatens some USA interests, though it is not yet a rival superpower like the way Soviet Union was previously. When you look at the geography of the United States of America is a natural economic hub and military fortress with no discrimination since it involves both white and black people. It has more resources than it is thought to be, and has more economic ways through like navigable waterways and ports that speed up the economy, particularly the Pacific Ocean, than the most of the world's countries. Therefore, China has a long journey to catch up with the US since it also has own natural resources. It is surrounded by countries that are hostile and the rest are unstable. Most of countries surrounding China are still claiming that there are some areas taken by China that should be taken back. The other 9 countries surrounding China are China's hostile. All of these are hindering China from becoming superpower than the United States. The United States is a big nation, young, and highly educated, though this may change due allowing gays who slide back American manpower. American workforce is the 3rd largest in the world, the 2nd youngest, its people are educated, and most productive among the major powers of the globe. By contrast, the analysts illustrate that China will lose 200 million workers in 30 years to come. Senior citizens will also reach 300 million. Workers in China produce 6 times less wealth per hour than the work done by American workers. If we take a little time to compare America to Russia, we will discover that Russia has a huge nuclear arsenal, and spend most of time in conflicts like Syria, and other Arab countries that are religiously confronting others with no gain. Looking at the budget of military forces in both Russia and the United States, the board shows that Russia has a budget which is 8 times smaller on military sector than the budget used in America. The United States has invested much on military sector. Russia's economy is less than that of one state in America, particularly Texas. The population in Russia is expected to have a loss of more 530% in 30 years to come, at the same time having no meaningful allies because its allies are Arab countries who depend only on oil. Look at this, China and Russia seem to have become allies. They are united because they only want to be in opposition to the United States to try creating a new power balance between them and the United States. This is where many do not understand that China and Russia's government shall never build a genuine alliance, since they still have limited set of issue, though they harm Americans' interests by selling oil and arms to each other in the hardest world situations. It's said that Russia and China have spent a lot of money on media outlets, NGOs, and hackers aiming to reverse the democratic system and political stability at the United Nations. They also have sanctioned almost all America's allies and decided to be on the side of North Korea and Iran, which are today great hostiles of the United States. They are ready to start wars with nations that are alliance to the USA while expecting to face US forces. A good example is the war being between Russia and Ukraine, where secretly Chile stands on Russia's side. There's a significant value when a certain state is the world's sole superpower. Uncountable benefits such as security, a large margin of error, freedom of actions, economic kickbacks, and a complete control of decision are available only in a sole superpower nation. If you want to know how America is highly secured, grab this. America has the luxury of dealing with foreign threats. All threats from all over the world are expertly kept away from American soil. They are neutralized far from American homeland, while keeping death and destruction at military and secret service. None of the battles are fought on the soil of the United States. The American government can do bad and stupid things again and again without suffering severe punishment from the so-called world's human rights agencies, and no sanctions are taken, but not any other country. It will suffer to the maximum. America is still the only state that engages in a fatal war like the war that happened in Iraq, or for no reason caused the worst global economic crisis. But it remains rich and influential. That is why the president elected in America is entirely looked at as the world president, and all countries listen to his words. No matter how bad America looks like in the eyes of some states, it retains the support of more than 60 major powers allies. All Americans are fully protected when they are doing business abroad. They may accept and follow the policies of any country, though policies in many countries are directly copied from the US. And this is where find the truth that America has many strings to pull to protect its citizens and their property abroad. It is fact that the United States shapes international customs and institutions the way it wants its interests to be today and tomorrow. It always oversees. There are many countries which do not know that they help finance America's debt. How do they help? It is by using American dollars. The American dollar is the world's reserve currency, and America is a secured and profitable place to invest. Many countries trade and invest deals with America to gain access to the American market and technology, or even garner diplomatic backing or military protection because they see and consider America sole superpower. Of course they gain. But America wins their minds and uses them to enrich itself in all sectors. If you carefully listen to some people's views, you will experience a perception that America is weak, seemingly unable to exert influence in international affairs, like the case of North Korea, Crimea, and Venezuela. No, it is not weak. There are reasons. People wrongly assume that a superpower state always gets its way, and when America tries and fails, it will appear on the front pages. America is powerful enough, it often tries to do ridiculously difficult things, democratizing the Middle East, winning a war on drugs, convincing North Korea to stop its nuclear programs, while keeping its status. I would like to conclude by reminding you that there are indicators used to measure power. GDP, military expenditure, and trade volume exaggerate the power of countries with big populations like China because they count the benefits of having a big population, thinking and lying to themselves that they are powerful while they are not. It is undeniable that China has the biggest economy in the world and many soldiers in number. But still it leads the world resource consumption, pollution of the air we need, unnecessary infrastructure, and populations of sick and elderly people producing nothing in compensation. It is not a dream to hear that America is more powerful than past leading nations. The United States has more than 5% of the world's population. It also accounts for more than 25% of the world's wealth. Not only that, but also America holds 35% of world innovation plus 40% of the world's military expenditure. The entire world has 2,000 companies which are the most profitable, while America alone has 600 of them. If you count the top 100 universities, half of them are American. To finally finish this, let me remind you that the United States has 587 known military bases scattered across 42 countries on this world. Nothing has ever existed like this American disparity of power in the past 500 years. The United States is the greatest superpower today. If there no new INE rises today, thank you for listening and please take time to support us.